Grilled sweet buns. This is what we will be preparing today. Ciao everybody, Katerina here. Welcome to my kitchen. Well, for this Easter brunch that I'm having, I'm going to be preparing filled sweet buns. Delicious. This recipe was by request. Now let's get started. We're going to start by preparing the yeast because it has to sit for 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to heat half a cup of full fat milk until it reaches 115 degrees Fahrenheit. 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast. 1/3 cup of granulated sugar to feed the yeast. I'm going to give this a really good mix and then leave it alone for 10 minutes. For best results, all the ingredients have to be at room temperature. You need your stand mixer. We're going to begin with the paddle and then we're going to switch over to a dough hook. To begin with the wet ingredients. 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. 1/2 cup of plain yogurt. I'm going to let this mix thoroughly for at least 3 minutes. This is what your yeast should look like, nice and frothy after 10 minutes. Now I'm going to add the yeast mixture. I love the smell of yeast. Mix all the wet until well combined. We're going to begin with the dry ingredients. 4 1/8 cups of all-purpose flour, and it's important that you sift it before you measure it out. To the flour, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of kosher salt. Just going to mix until well combined. The wet ingredients has combined beautifully. Now we're going to change to a dough hook. We're going to start adding the dry to the wet, a tablespoon at a time. By adding the flour slowly, this particular dough combines beautifully. If you add it too quickly, it'll start to separate and clump up, and you don't want that. You notice that I didn't even have to do a scrape down. The dough slowly, it took about 15 minutes, but now it's coming together. I lightly greased my bowl. I'm going to place the dough in it, lightly plastic wrap the bowl, and I'm going to put it in a lovely warm place for a minimum of an hour and 15 minutes to double in size. My dough is ready. It's been rising in a nice warm place for an hour and 15 minutes and doubled in size. Look how beautiful. We're just going to roll this out rectangular. The side of the dough is nice and smooth, and that's what you want. Turned it around and we're going to roll it. Nice and tight, very tight. We're going to cut this beautiful dough in half and then in half again. We want 8 quarters. What we're going to do is we're just going to put this together on both sides and we're going to roll it into a ball, the size of a tennis ball. Each portion was made into a ball. It's on my tray, wrapped with plastic wrap, a tea towel, and I'm going to set it aside for half an hour. I started preparing my filled sweet buns, and this time around I decided to use dulce de leche, strawberry jam, and Nutella. You can fill them with whatever you like. I've started rolling out one of the little balls to a rectangle shape. Last 2 sweet buns, I'm going to do them in Nutella for my sweetheart. It's his favorite. Approximately a teaspoon or just a little bit over a teaspoon, and don't put it to the edge. A little bit of egg white just as an adhesive around the Nutella and on the dough. See, right around. Fold it over and we're going to press down. With the back of my little reel here, I'm just going to press it down. Turn it over. Just going to press down the ends and we're going to cut a little bit of the ends out. But we're going to hold on to this dough. We're going to make a little ball because this will be the center of our flour. I'm going to do 7 incisions. I like to start in the center. right down to almost the end, not right to the end. And now here I'm going to measure out 3 incisions. 1, 2, 3. For the other side, 1, 2, 2, 3. A total of 7 incisions. And we're just going to roll this right over. Look how pretty that is. With my bamboo skewer, I'm just going to press down and hold it for approximately 5 seconds. Now we're going to form our flower. Very simple. We're going to turn this around, and you see the 2 ends here that have right here. Now all we're going to do is bring it together and join those 2 ends together. That's all we're doing, you see? So that's 1. Now these 2 we're going to join together, and that's another little petal. Pinch it together, pinch it together, pinch it together. Now don't go crazy if it's not perfect, because once they bake off, they're going to look beautiful. A bit of egg white here because it's being very, very fussy. So I'm just going to leave it for a few seconds, okay? And we're pinching it together, and there's our sweet bun flour. The leftover dough that we had, we're going to place it in the center. And there we go. Our flour is done. We're going to let them rise for 15 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to preheat our oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. Ready to egg wash. I have 1 egg yolk and 2 tablespoons of milk. Well, today my flowers decided that the petals were not going to stick. Don't fret about it if it happens to you, really. Once they're baked, they're just going to look like unique flowers. Now do a real thorough egg wash because they're going to look beautiful once they're baked. In my preheated oven for 20 to 25 minutes. When you see them golden brown, you know they're ready. My Easter sweet buns turned out fantastic, and I'm going to say it if you can only smell my kitchen. These really are delicious. You must try this recipe. I want to take this opportunity to wish you all a happy Easter. Buona Pasqua a tutti. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And it's Caterina from my home to yours. Don't forget to hit your like button, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel and share my recipe. Ciao! Oh, so good.